I have a set of 12 questions that I ask in every product review. And there's a very strict guidance of like, you cannot move on to question 2 until you've sufficiently answered question 1.
Are you able to rattle off the questions?
Okay, so my questions are like, who's a target user? What does the user need we're solving for? Give me a link to your evidence of why that need is actually a need and not a made up need. How do we know we've solved for that need? How do we know it's self-serve and operations free? It can often be easy to compensate with services, what a product should be doing. What is a range of solutions to get us there? It's always easier to agree on one solution if you've thought about alternatives. How have you leveraged the advantages that the company has? In Watershed's case, it's like a ton of climate specific intelligence and reference data. And so at Stripe, it was, all kinds of Stripe assets, like the adoption of the API and our existing user base and our payments expertise, et cetera. But I do ask, like, how are you leveraging the company's existing assets? What's the intended experience from the user's point of view? And so this is where I love people to like give me API docs. And so I can like try integrating it myself or like show me with a user story, what are the requests the user makes at every sort of step of the way. How quickly do we start learning whether our solutions are the right ones? What is the criteria by which we'll evaluate that? So this is like, what are your success metrics? And let's get into a ton of details there. What do we actually build to provide this experience? And so include all of your key assumptions and challenges. And then last, like, what's the plan to build it? So what's work to be done? The operational model, any risks or open questions? But those are my product review questions.
And when you do a product review monthly, you run through all of them?
It depends on the team. So again, I don't proceed to the next question until the questions at the top are answered. Sometimes a team will come to product review and say, I've only answered 4, but we're going to spend a ton of time on the like all the evidence I've collected for why this is a user need. Help me interrogate whether it's a user need or I just have happy ears right now. I was like, great, that sounds like an awesome product review. Let's run through that stuff. Sometimes teams will say, great, well, I answered 1 through 6 in the previous review. Now let's get into details about the intended experience, walk through the product in a ton of detail, and then we'll talk about early user feedback as to whether this is the right solution or not. So it's not all the questions in every review. It's usually like some sort of set of them.
Do you normally have this written out in a doc ahead of time, or this is how you verbally sort of run the meeting?
It's all written down in a doc ahead of time. Certainly, you don't have to write reams and reams of prose, like write the thing at the beginning and then link me to a bunch of evidence that you have otherwise. And I'll usually pre-read that before the meeting and then come in and try to make it all discussion.